Marvel Rivals is here and it has definitely left its mark on the industry. With over 10 million players in only a few days, it's safe to say that the game is an absolute hit. Clearly inspired by Overwatch, this is Marvel's twist on the hero shooter genre. Does it live up to the lofty expectations and the quality of Overwatch? Let's dig into it. Marvel Rivals launched with an impressive amount of characters. There are over 30 characters to choose from in 3 different classes. You have the Vanguard, which are your tank characters. You have the Duelists, which are your DPS or damage dealing characters. And you have the Strategists, which are the support characters with healing and other support moves. It's nice to have that many choices. You'll be able to find the perfect character for your playstyle. It just might take a while. One downside to this freedom is the lack of structure. In Overwatch, you have a set number of roles on your team. This guarantees 1 tank, 2 DPS, and 2 support. Marvel Rivals doesn't have that. You could have 6 tanks or 6 supports. This forces you to be reliant on teammates that know how to play games like this, and that isn't always the case. I hope this is something that they change in a future update. I think the game would definitely benefit from a little bit more structure when it comes to the composition of your team. The combat can take some getting used to. While it is a hero shooter like Overwatch, and it shares a lot of the same game modes, Marvel Rivals is fundamentally different with its perspective. It's a third-person view. This allows for a greater view of the battlefield and its surroundings. Each character can take advantage of this in different ways. All of the characters have different movesets, which can be amplified with the right teammates. If you have Namor paired with Luna Snow, you'll get a third turret to throw down that is ice-based and will slow down the enemy. If you have Magneto and Scarlet Witch, Magneto will have a sword he can use for powerful close-range attacks. There are a ton of these combinations, so it will benefit you greatly to learn these and use them to your advantage. The game comes with a lot of characters, but very limited on game modes. You have Convergence, Convoy, and Domination. I'm sure they will add more game modes as time goes on. There are also 5 different levels. Some of these have 3 stages within that level, so they don't get old and they stay somewhat fresh. With the countless locations in the Marvel lore, I'm excited to see what locations they will have. Getting back to combat, I am not a fan of the supers or ultimates in this game. I don't feel powerful when I use them, the hitboxes are all over the place, and they are not as battle changing or match swinging as I thought they would be. It's a pretty big disappointment coming from Overwatch, where almost every super feels like it can make a difference. I've also ran into some clipping issues with the game. It usually comes in the form of my projectiles. I'll clearly have my reticle above a ledge, but my projectile won't go where the reticle is. It will hit the ledge right in front of me. This can be really frustrating when trying to flank and poke the other team from the back line. Another negative for me is the UI and the Battle Pass. I personally find the UI to be a little hard to read from a menu standpoint. It's not terrible, I just think it could be cleaned up a bit. The Battle Pass is not good either. It's really small and it doesn't let you know which characters have a skin to unlock. You already have to be familiar with Marvel characters in order to recognize who those skins are for. I will say, the wait times for matches in this game are basically non-existent. It's a pretty refreshing experience. I think the longest I had to wait was maybe 10 seconds. You can get in and out of games very quickly. This makes the game very accessible for people who may not have a ton of time to play. Maybe they only have 1 match before work, or maybe 2 matches before they're going out to see friends, or they have a few hours to play on a Saturday. No matter what, you're going to be able to jump in, get into a game very quickly, and get out. So that is incredible. The servers have been stable, and that's quite impressive for a game that has over 10 million players and just came out a few days ago. As you go through the match and you either win or lose, at the end of that, You'll learn who the MVP for the game was, and you'll be able to give a thumbs up to your teammates. You can also give one to yourself, so you'll never feel left out if you played poorly. Something I do find a little weird about a design choice that they made was the menu or the scoreboard inside of a match. It will tell you how many kills you have, how many deaths you have, and how many assists you have along with your teammates. And then at the bottom it will tell you how much damage you've done, how much damage you've mitigated, and how much healing you've done. But it doesn't tell you that information for any of your teammates, which I thought was a little strange. So the information on the scoreboard is a little lacking, and I hope they can change that in a future update. All in all, this is a very solid, fun game. It's decently accessible and has a high skill ceiling. It's free to play, so grab some buddies and form up a team. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for alerts. Let me know down in the comments who your favorite characters are. I'm very interested to hear people's opinions on that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one.